So in San Marino, there are a lot of people that excel and do very well. So I didn't realize in this time of my life my abilities and my learning style. And so in high school, I didn't excel. I was an average guy and also didn't have discipline and structure as much. So I went to a junior college, and in San Marino, most everybody has high expectations to go on to college. So I was one of the only people within my graduating class of 1984 at San Marino. I was the only guy, but I went to the Marine Corps. And first I went to Pasadena City College, and there I started. I felt very low self-esteem. And this is the value that I obtained in the Marine Corps, was self-esteem and a feeling of self-worth. And the reasoning being is I had a different experience than some people. As in San Marino, I was an average guy. Then I went into the military in the Marine Corps, and it was very difficult training. And within the Marines, I discovered that I was different in one way, that I grew up in a socio-economic environment that was much different than a lot of guys that were in the Marines as enlisted men. So there, I realized that I had a lot of opportunity from where I came from. So in terms of self-esteem, so I went to the Marines, went to boot camp, and this is the important part of where I got the value. So I went to boot camp, and I really struggled, worked hard, and then I went into Camp Pendleton and went to my training school for artillery. And at the training school, I graduated in the top 1%. And I realized that I was intelligent, and I realized that I was a leader, and just being a little guy and not being real strong in that way, I was strong with intelligence. So I took advantage of it and realized that the kinesthetic learning, hands-on learning, and more of auditory, it wasn't much as reading, but hands-on and auditory listening was my learning style. And there I performed well in the military. And then graduating in the top 1% of my class helped me gain this great self-esteem. And from there I worked very hard as other guys went out and partied, or they went out and didn't really focus on moving up the ladder. I did. So then I was meritoriously promoted twice over. So I was a corporal when some of the guys were still private or private first class. So this I enjoyed. And then I was given a lot more responsibility. I was given an artillery gun, and then I was able to lead a platoon and a squad. And all of a sudden, my inner being, I felt as if I were intelligent, and I had, it was just a great awakening for me. So applying it to my life today is that I took this discipline and self-esteem that I gained in the Marine Corps, and I learned my style of how I work, and I started my own business. And now I have a truck and a chipper and a group of men that work for me, and I'm the leader of the team. And so I incorporated kind of this concept of the military with the artillery gun and truck and all that concept of being a leader there. And I applied this to the real world with having my truck and chipper and my small business, and that interaction, that discipline, helped me to learn how to lead men with strong self-esteem and discipline. So one key moment when I was in the Marines was when I was going out to the field, and I got to go home for leave. And here in San Marino we have silver spoons in our drawers. And so I came to our family home and I just grabbed some silverware and I put it in my gear bag with all this other stuff. And then I got in the back of the big truck and the Humvees, and we were out in the field, and I pulled out my utensils, and the guys around me looked at me and they said, "Look at white boy, look at white boy. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth." And that was really an aha moment. I thought, wow, it's really true. You know, what these guys would give, they'd give the right arm to have the opportunities that I've been given. And so that silver spoon in that moment really just was an awakening and gave me, made me want to work harder, because I was given an opportunity that they would never get. So it made me work harder to achieve.